The Naked Cupid. So I'm using my quote-unquote forgotten pattern, and I'm just going to do a very short introduction here to how you get the doll made. If you want to see more detailed directions, you can watch the video for the Red Mermaid Cupid, and that has a very detailed directions for this part, drawing out the shapes and then cutting them out, sewing them, stuffing them. All of that is more detailed in the other video, so I didn't want to repeat that here. So here's my shape, it's all ready to go. Now the way this is different from the mermaid is I'm going to make this a human instead of a mermaid, and I'm going to make it a cute little chubby angel that has a little jelly belly. I love a jelly belly. So I drew the lines, and just a very short clip here of how I sew on those lines. So I just kind of wiggle it in there and then just sew right on the line. It's really pretty easy. So I sew all of those lines. Once those are done, I wanted to do a little bit of modeling with the paints on those lines. And since I have the paints out, I'm also going to do my cheeks, which I do by putting a little pink on my brush and getting most of the paint off and then swirling it around, and that makes really nice cheeks. So I'm mixing a flesh tone, and then I'm going to add a whole lot of water to that so that it's relatively diluted. Then I'm wetting the entire body of the doll wherever the creases are from the sewing. And then I'm just putting the paint into the creases, and this will bleed nicely and just give it a little shadowing to make it look a little more three-dimensional. And the face, I do the same way I do most of my faces. The 2 dots for the eyes using a micron marker, and the U for a nose, and then the 2 downward strokes for the mouth. And I do have a video on making a cute face that you can watch. So I was trying to figure out which wings I wanted to use, and I had these wings that I loved. I got them from a Catherine's Collections ribbon. I took the wings off and thought I'd find a million uses for them, but have not found one yet. And I also love that embellishment. I wanted to somehow add some red to this. Even though I love the gold with the flesh, I wanted to add some red. Now, this part is exactly like the Mermaid Cupid. I put the sash, and then I'm going to tie the bow to the sash. And I really like the way that that looks. And I really love my little Naked Cupid so far. So, in an attempt to add some red somehow, I was trying these different options out, like either making a bra for the angel out of the red hearts, or making sunglasses, which I might make one with sunglasses, but in the end I just really liked it, just plain. Now this hair is the same hair I used on my praying angel, which if you want to see how I do the hair, you can look up that video. And that's what I'm going to use for a crown. Now I had these red rhinestones that I could use on these sections from the trim I just showed you. I painted that trim gold, and then I cut the sections apart, and I glued the rhinestones on there for the crown for the angel. Now this is a metallic paint marker, and I like using this for shoes on the angels that I make. I like it because it doesn't bleed and it's super metallic. That's what I like about it. And I'm painting the front and the back, And then I think I'm going to make a little strap as well to make it look more like a sandal. And I'm just loving the way this looks. I've not yet tried this pattern this way, like making it into a human instead of a mermaid, and I really, really like the way this looks. That mermaid tail really lended itself well to the feet. So there it is. And I'm putting that on the back as well. I love the way the sandals came out. So for the arrows, I did show how I made these on the other Mermaid Cupid video, so you can, if you want to have a detailed description of how I made those, you can look that up. It's on one of the other videos. And the pouch as well that the arrows go into, I show how I made those. So I have to pick one of these cute crowns. Which one should I pick? They're all so cute. I had these rhinestones. I was so excited that I had red ones. I thought that was a great way to introduce the red into my little Cupid, an understated way of doing it. So I put glue on the top of the head, and I'm putting on the hair. I love this hair. It's hand-dyed boucle yarn that I get at the yarn cellar in Maine. And here's my little crown, and I usually will put the hair down over the edge of the crown. And I wanted to put a little glitter, just like I did on the red Cupid, onto the bow. So I'm just putting the glue on there, and I'm actually going to put a little glue onto the knots where I tied this to the sash, just to make sure those knots don't come out. And there's my glitter on there. I like just a little bit. Oh, I love the way that looks. And I'm going to scoop that glitter back in with my little technique here. And here's my arrows. And I did tie the arrows on as well, and I'm painting them with my paint marker. Now I'm going to glue them into my little pouch. And here they are. They look so adorable. So I put glue in there, and then I just sort of position these however I think that they will look best. I did use the glue gun to glue the arrows on. I had to brush some of it off though because it was too blobby. So I'm going to glue the wings on. So there's the glue on the wing. And then I also have to put some glue behind her shoulder so that I can glue her little arrows pouch in there. And the last thing I'm going to do is put on the string so that you can hang it up. It's a little ornament, and I am in love with this, I have to say. I've been wanting to make a Cupid for years, and I finally figured out how to do it. Happy Valentine's! See you next time. Thanks for watching.